Authorities in Myanmar say the death toll from the devastating earthquake has risen to at least 1,700. The magnitude 7.7 tremor struck on Friday near the country's second largest city. The country's military leader says there are about 3,400 people injured and about 300 still missing. International aid is finally starting to reach those in need, with the widespread destruction hampering rescue and recovery efforts.
Many homes have been destroyed, road and bridge damaged. Many children and families are still missing and traumatized. We need urgent assistance, especially for the children, who often suffer the most in these kinds of situations.
In Bangkok, at least 18 people have been confirmed killed in the collapse of an unfinished high-rise building, with 78 missing. Authorities say an extensive search and rescue mission is underway.
I cannot say that I feel good at all, but we are working around the clock, and the only determination that we have in common is to be able to find the survivors.
And East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood joins us now from Bangkok. Kathleen, we'll get to the situation in Thailand in just a moment, but first, what's the latest out of Myanmar?
Well, look, the situation in Myanmar is really dire. The junta has announced that at least 1,700 people have been killed, and they're warning that that death toll will likely rise. There has been panic in Myanmar as well, because there have been a number of aftershocks, including a 5.1 magnitude quake yesterday afternoon. So people obviously already very traumatised and scared, and this is really adding to it. Now, we're hearing that some of the rescue efforts are very painstaking and slow because, of course, in Myanmar, which has been devastated by civil war now for some years, they don't have the kind of heavy machinery that you can see behind me here in Thailand. So people are really pulling rubble away with their bare hands, trying to rescue loved ones. We've heard from one resident who said that there's an 11-storey building in Mandalay where they can hear people screaming inside, and they're really working hard to try and rescue those people. Now, to compound all of this, there are accusations that the junta has continued airstrikes since the earthquake. There are calls from international organisations and Myanmar's National Unity Government, its government in exile, if you could describe it that way, to pause hostilities now for the coming weeks in particular, while the country tries to deal with the aftermath of this disaster. Some international aid is getting in. Several teams from a number of countries, including China and Thailand, have arrived, but they're mainly arriving in Yangon because the Mandalay airport has been affected in the earthquake, and so now they're facing a fairly arduous journey on damaged roads to get up to the worst hit areas around Mandalay.
Kathleen, tell us what's happening where you are there in Bangkok.
So we're in front of the site where a more than 30-storey high-rise collapsed on Friday when the earthquake hit. It was under construction, and it's believed that around 80 people are trapped inside. So as you can see, there's huge cranes there working frantically to try and clear this concrete. Obviously, it's a delicate operation because they need the heavy machinery to get rid of all that rubble, but it's also, they're trying not to hurt anyone further, anyone inside who might still be there. Remarkably, there have been signs of life detected overnight, apparently. So we've seen this morning some rescue crews actually be lifted on top of the pile of rubble to try and see what they can see from up there, see if there's any way to get to people from the top. We also saw yesterday afternoon some of the cranes start to work around the outside of the building. We were told by a worker who had escaped that there is a basement, so we're wondering if perhaps they're trying to dig in to the basement from the outside. Now, what's really compounded the tragedy here is it seems like most of the workers on that site were Burmese migrants. So there's a lot of families here who've been camped out all weekend hoping for news. A lot of them also too trying to get information out of Myanmar as well, which has really borne the brunt of the devastation. So we spoke to one gentleman who believes that his brother is trapped beneath the rubble here.
They haven't told us anything about the safety of the construction. We haven't got any information so far. We've lost contact. We haven't got any updates about my brother. The name is in their hospital admissions list, but they did not tell us which hospital. The names of the deceased persons were not disclosed to us. I'm feeling very overwhelmed and we feel very deeply.
So there's a huge amount of rescue workers, military, police here, also volunteers and other community organisations supporting the rescue effort, making sure everyone is watered and fed, as well as taking care of those families that are waiting. As you can probably see, it started to rain here quite heavily, so that will no doubt complicate efforts. Questions have been raised about the safety of this building and the construction, and we've heard that from the Industry Minister of Thailand that they've taken steel samples from the building to test them, and the Deputy Prime Minister, who inspected the site yesterday, has also told media that they've set up a committee to investigate, and they're expecting them to report back in about a week.
East Asia correspondent Kathleen Calderwood in Bangkok. Thank you.